Discover how a heartwarming new cleaner transformed her workplace fired management in just 3 days. Olivia stood in front of her bathroom mirror, the fabric of her new cleaner's uniform feeling both foreign and empowering. The reflection staring back at her was not just the face of a single mother struggling to make ends meet, it was the face of a veteran determined to rise from the ashes of her past. She grinned, the weight of her children's smiles inspiring hope deep within her. Charlie and Mia, her spirited duo, bounced around the house, blissfully unaware of the sacrifices she was about to make for their future. On her first day, the community center welcomed Olivia with a suffocating atmosphere of neglect. The chipped paint on the walls whispered forgotten stories. A flickering fluorescent light buzzed overhead, mirroring the tensions among her colleagues. Yet, as Olivia pushed through, cleaning supplies in hand, she could feel a spark igniting in her chest. She was here to change not just her life, but the lives of those around her. The undercurrent of despair amongst the staff tugged at her heart, whispering tales of economic hardship and dreams stifled by a system that seemed to have abandoned them. "Did you hear about the staff lunches being cut?" a coworker murmured, her voice laced with worry. Olivia nodded, her heart aching for them. It was more than just a lunch, it was a community, a reason to gather, to share stories and laughter. Within days, Olivia found herself deeply entwined with her colleagues, forging bonds over shared struggles and unspoken hopes. She became their confidant, a shoulder to lean on. The laughter of her children echoed in her mind, reminding her that if they could face challenges with courage, so could she. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As resentment simmered among her co-workers, Olivia couldn't just stand by. She rallied them, her passion intertwining with their dreams as they began to imagine a better future. The community center would once again become a beacon of hope, she vowed. But the management didn't take kindly to her fire. Whispers of discontent turned into icy glares. Desperation hung in the air as she organized a public meeting, her heart racing with uncertainty but resolve burning fiercely. The vibrant voices of the employees filled the room, sharing not just concerns but their dreams, unveiling a tapestry of resilience woven together. But instead of recognition, management reacted with fear. 2 weeks' notice, you're all gone, they declared, cold eyes sweeping the crowd. At that moment, Olivia became the face of their collective anger, their hopes merging into a singular force that refused to back down. As she stood at the edge of what felt like a chasm, her world suddenly shifted when she stumbled upon information that hinted at corruption within management. Her heart thumped, a thunderous reminder of the stakes at play. Could this be their turning point, their moment to shine bright enough to drown out the darkness? She understood completely, as long as they stood together, they could change everything. The atmosphere in the community center had shifted. Olivia stood in front of a group of worn-out co-workers, the weight of their despair hanging in the air like storm clouds ready to burst. Determined eyes met her gaze, flickering with hope. They were counting on her. She stepped forward, her heart racing, and began to speak. "Listen, everyone. We've been treated like we don't matter, but we do. We are the soul of this place. If we stand together, we can make them listen." Each word felt like a small spark igniting an even larger flame. One of her co-workers, Enrique, raised his hand, a hint of doubt in his eyes. "But what can we really do? They have all the power. We're just cleaners." Olivia took a deep breath, recalling the moments she'd spent alone in her thoughts, imagining a brighter future for her children. "Power lies in numbers, Enrique. We've seen what happens when we allow them to take away our voice. Let us expose what is going on here. together. Slowly, the room began to buzz with murmurs of agreement. A wave of energy surged through her, igniting a passion she didn't know she still possessed. The idea of standing up wasn't just for herself but for every one of them, for their families, and for a future built on respect and dignity. As they began to share ideas and formulate a plan, Olivia took on the role of leader, organizing a group to document their experiences and gather evidence of the unethical practices they had witnessed. It was exhausting work, requiring late nights and whispered discussions in dimly lit corners of the center. Yet, whatever fatigue she felt faded away with every story they unearthed. Days turned into a blur of gathering testimony and building their case. Charlie and Mia would often come home to find their mother hunched over her laptop, fueled by determination, and despite the tiredness etched on her face, they would always see her smile when they walked through the door. Olivia became their hero in a way, fighting not just for her job but for the life they all dreamt of together. However, the shadows looming over the center were growing darker. Management had noticed the change in Olivia and her group. Their strange silence began to echo warning bells. One afternoon, as Olivia was leaving the community center, she overheard hushed voices behind her. "We need to take her down before she can do any more damage," a voice hissed. Fear gripped her heart, but she felt the warmth of her coworkers' camaraderie solidifying her resolve. Soon, the day arrived when they would present their findings. A public meeting, where the truths they unearthed would spill forth like an unstoppable tide. Standing at the front of the room, looking into the faces of her coworkers, Olivia's heart raced. As she began to unveil the dishonesty that tainted their workplace, she noticed one of the managers shift uncomfortably in their seat. A bead of sweat rolled down his temple. It was in that moment that Olivia realized something profound. A small part of her previously shattered spirit was mending. Just as she was about to deliver the final blow, a loud crash echoed from the back of the room, pulling everyone's attention. The door burst open, revealing someone she never expected to see. Her breath caught in her throat. Who had just entered? What would they reveal, and how would it change everything she had worked so hard for? Olivia's pulse quickened as anticipation filled the air. The newcomer was Anna, Olivia's childhood friend. Her hazel eyes sparkled with determination as she stepped into the room, but there was a weight in her posture that suggested something was amiss. "Anna!" Olivia gasped, her heart swelling with hope and confusion. "What are you doing here?" "I had to come. I couldn't sit back and watch them tear apart the place we once called home." Anna's voice was strong but soft, cutting through the tension in the air. The murmurs in the room turned into a flood of whispers. Faces lit up with curiosity. Why had Anna, who worked at another community center, come here now? Olivia motioned for her to join her at the front. "I'm so glad you're here. We were just about to expose some serious issues in the management." "What issues? What do you have?" Anna leaned in, her focus intense. With newfound energy, Olivia recounted the unethical practices they had uncovered: the missed paychecks, the unfair treatment, the lies. As each detail left her lips, Anna's gaze darkened. "I have something too," she responded. "I've spoken with employees at my center, and they reported nearly identical occurrences. We can't let this continue." The realization hit Olivia like a gust of wind. This was bigger than their own workplace. Together, they were crafting a story that could resonate far and wide. "Anna, we could join forces. If we unite our different experiences." Olivia's eyes shimmered with excitement. But their moment of triumph was shattered by a sharp voice. "What is going on here?" It was another manager from the community center. His face was a mixture of anger and concern, eyes darting between Olivia and Anna. For a moment, Olivia's heart sank. She was suddenly aware of the target that had formed on her back. Would they attempt to silence her now? Then Anna stepped forward, unfazed. "We're not afraid of you. We have the truth on our side." Her statement hung in the air, courageous and bright. In an instant, Olivia's determination rekindled. She could feel the weight of her coworkers' gazes on her, anticipation crackling like electricity. With Anna at her side, they were unstoppable. "Let us finish what we started, everyone," Olivia said, voice steady and firm. "We are doing this for all of us." As she turned back to the crowd, she noticed Enrique looking nervous but inspired. "We need to support each other. This isn't just about us, it's about everyone who has suffered under the secrets of these walls," he added. Olivia felt her heart swell. She was not alone in this fight anymore. Together, they had the power to speak out, to demand change. But just as they were ready to unveil their full potential, the manager barked an order: "Enough. You will all regret this." Chills ran down Olivia's spine. What would they try next? The momentum shifted, and tension filled the room. A storm was brewing, but how could they weather it? With adrenaline surging, Olivia knew they couldn't back down now. She took a deep breath, her eyes locking with Anna's, and they nodded in silent agreement. They were ready to face whatever came next. But just as they prepared to push forward, a spotlight of doubt flickered in Olivia's mind. What would be the cost of their truth? Would they lose everything they had worked for? As the air grew heavy with uncertainty, Olivia felt a shift in the atmosphere. Would their bravery pay off, or would it all come crashing down around them? "What's our next move?" she asked the group, the weight of silence settling in, as every eye turned to her for answers. The silence was palpable, thickening the air as Olivia's question hung like a delicate thread. She couldn't shake the feeling of being on a tightrope, balancing between hope and despair. Anna stepped closer to the group, her voice a steady anchor amid the uncertainty. "We have to document everything. Every unfair practice, every story. We're not just standing for ourselves, we're standing for anyone who has felt powerless." Fueled by Anna's resolve, Olivia searched the faces of her coworkers. She could see Miguel nodding, a spark igniting in his eyes. "We need witnesses, everyone who is willing to share their experiences," he chimed in, his voice gaining strength. The manager, sensing the shift, stepped forward, his facade of authority fading. "You think you can bully us with your little operation? You'll regret this," he warned, but his threat felt hollow, as if he was grasping at smoke. Olivia felt the confidence surge through her, and she turned to the manager, stating firmly, "You can't silence the truth. We're done being afraid." A ripple of murmurs spread through the crowd, a mix of shock and encouragement. Then, Anna took a deep breath and added, "We'll take this to social media, to the news. If we need to, we'll go public." A wave of energy rippled through the room, hope ignited the heavy atmosphere. "Can we really do that?" Someone from the back piped up, skepticism laced in their voice. "Absolutely," Anna replied. "But we'll need everyone's support. If even one of us stands alone, we'll be picked off. Together, though, we're a force." Hearing that, Olivia felt the weight lift slightly from her chest. This was about unity, about harnessing a collective voice that could no longer be ignored. She looked at each person standing by her side. "Are you with us?" she asked, feeling the intensity rising. After a hesitant moment, one by one, nods began to emerge. "I'm in," Enrique said, now visibly animated. "Me too," called out another coworker, and soon the room was filled with affirmations. As their voices united, Olivia could feel an exhilarating rush. It was as if they had crossed a threshold, liberating themselves from the chains of fear. But just as the excitement escalated, the manager's gaze darkened. He raised a hand, commanding attention. "You think you can just act recklessly? You'll ruin this place, and you'll ruin yourselves in the process," he said, anger lining his voice, but Olivia saw the flicker of worry in his eyes. "Or maybe we'll save it," Anna shot back, a fire in her eyes. In that instant, Olivia realized that they weren't just fighting for their jobs, they were fighting for something greater, their dignity and the values they believed in. With the group rallied, a plan began to form. They would gather documents, testimonies, anything they could to back their claims. They would research into labor laws, dig up evidence. The more they gathered, the stronger their case would be. But what if they lost their jobs? What if they faced retaliation? The thought nagged at Olivia, a relentless whisper that insisted on intruding. Yet, looking around at her friends, her family, she felt buoyed. "Let us meet tomorrow, bring everything you have," she urged. "This fight won't be easy, but it's worth it." As they dispersed, the adrenaline waned, leaving a sense of raw anticipation in its wake. Walking out together with Anna, Olivia couldn't help but feel the burden lift. "Do you really think we can do it?" she asked, uncertainty slipping back in. Anna looked at her, her hazel eyes serious yet hopeful. "We don't have a choice. We owe it to ourselves and to everyone who came before us." But just as they stepped outside into the cool evening air, a sinister thought crossed Olivia's mind. What if this fight didn't just uncover the truth but unleashed a storm that would forever change their lives? With that haunting question lingering, she glanced at Anna, wondering if they were truly ready for what lay ahead. The true battle was just beginning, and she felt it deep in her bones. This would not be the last time they faced the manager. The stakes were becoming dangerously high, and Olivia wondered, would they emerge victorious, or would they crumble under the pressure? The morning sun broke through the clouds, spilling light across the pavement as Olivia and Anna gathered the next day with several coworkers in their usual meeting spot. The atmosphere buzzed with a mix of excitement and nerves. Olivia could see the determination in each face, yet there was an undercurrent of fear that they all shared, a fear that threatened to unravel everything they were trying to build. "All right, everyone," Olivia said, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. "Today, we're going to share our stories. The things we've faced here are real and powerful, but we need to put them into words." The group formed a loose circle, and one by one, they began to speak. Miguel went first, recounting his experience of the manager belittling him in front of others. He spoke of the shame and embarrassment that followed him home each day. As he finished, he looked up, tears threatening to spill from his eyes. The group rallied around him, offering words of support and reassurance. Next was Laura, who shared her story of being passed over for promotions time and again while less qualified candidates were celebrated. Her voice quivered with emotion. "I still remember the look on my mother's face when I told her I wasn't getting the job. She worked so hard so I could have a better life," she said, her gaze far away for a moment. "I wanted to make her proud." Each story felt like a thread woven into a larger tapestry, and with each shared experience, a sense of solidarity emerged, drawing them closer together. The deeper they dug, the stronger they felt, and Olivia realized they were creating something beautiful amid their pain, a shared purpose. As they wrapped up their meeting, Anna suggested they create a social media page and a petition. "It's time to gather support from the community. If we can show people that this is not just about us but about equality in our workplace, we might stand a chance," she urged passionately. Olivia's heart raced at the thought. This was becoming real, and the stakes were higher than ever. What if they attracted attention but it only brought wrath from the manager? She caught a glance from Miguel, who nodded, silently promising his support. "Let's do it," Olivia said finally, injecting her voice with conviction. "This is our moment. We can't shy away from the truth any longer." Just then, a shadow crossed over their gathering, pulling their attention toward the building entrance. The manager stood there, arms crossed and eyes narrowed, like a predator assessing its prey. "I've heard whispers of what you're planning," he thundered, striding closer with a dark intensity. "You think this is some kind of game? You're playing with fire." A chill ran down Olivia's spine. His words were sharp, but there was something else, something in his tone hinted at panic. Could they really be threatening his hold over them? "We're not afraid of you," Anna shot back, her voice unwavering. "We're standing together." The manager's mouth twisted in a sneer. "You'll regret this." I'll make sure of it." As he turned to leave, Olivia could feel her heart pounding. There was no turning back now. They had taken a stand, but now a real fight loomed ahead, the kind that could swallow them whole. Facing one another again, the gravity of their decision settled in. The fight they envisioned could cost them dearly. Anger and vulnerability swirled within Olivia, building a tempest of emotions. "Are we ready for this?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper, uncertainty creeping back in. "We have to be," Anna replied, her eyes fierce, full of a tenacity that made Olivia's heart swell. As they each wrestled with their fears, the weight of their collective resolve felt as formidable as any storm. They were ready to face whatever came next. But deep down, Olivia couldn't shake the feeling that the biggest confrontation was yet to come. What would happen when they pushed back hard enough to challenge the system? Would they break free, or would they be crushed in the process? The chilling thought lingered, and as they plowed forward, Olivia couldn't help but wonder what consequences awaited them. Olivia sat on the edge of a fading picnic table, her fingers tracing the splintered wood as her coworkers filtered out in hushed conversation. The laughter and lightness from just moments ago was now replaced with a heavy silence. She looked at Anna, who kept her gaze firmly on a distant tree, her brow furrowed in thought. "What do you think will happen next?" Olivia asked, trying to pierce the thick veil of uncertainty hanging over them. Anna turned to meet her eyes, a fierce glow igniting within them. "We prepare for battle, Olivia. This isn't just about us anymore. It's about everyone who has been silenced." The clarity of Anna's conviction washed over Olivia like a refreshing spring rain. They needed to push forward. And while fears clung like shadows, the flicker of hope ignited within her. She could feel it pulsing just beneath the surface. The transformation was happening, a sense of purpose, a growing unity among them. That evening, the group gathered at Olivia's small apartment, a clutter of snacks spread across the coffee table. Anna set her laptop down and opened a document titled "Our Mission." As everyone settled in, the weight of the day's confrontation lingered in the air, but so did a resolute determination. "We each need to write an open letter to our management," Anna suggested. "Let us lay everything out, the mistreatment, the discrimination, and describe how we aim to stand united." Olivia watched as Miguel and Laura shared ideas about their experiences, jotting them down as they spoke. With each word, anger morphed into action, and frustration was etched into a bold demand for change. Olivia's heart swelled with pride. They had become more than just co-workers, they were a family, bound together by a cause. As laughter and brainstorming filled the room, that familiar feeling of unity began to replace their earlier trepidation. In this crowded space, filled with shared stories and personal struggles, they started to forge a path. They talked through every detail, editing and refining their letters until each word felt like a battle cry. Suddenly, a loud knock echoed from the door, rattling everyone into silence. A ripple of anxiety swept through the room. Who would knock? "It's late," whispered Laura, her wide eyes darting toward Olivia. Olivia hesitated but rose, heart pounding. She opened the door to find a young woman standing there, her forehead glistening with perspiration. "I heard what you're doing," she said, urgency lacing her voice. "I want to help." "Help?" Olivia echoed, puzzled. "Yes. My name's Mia. I just started working as a cleaner in the building. I saw and heard so much today while on the job. I need you to know how important this is," Mia pleaded, catching her breath. "It's like everyone's afraid of losing something. But I'm here to tell you, I've seen management's weakness. It's time to make them realize they don't hold all the power." The room buzzed with curiosity and eagerness as Mia spoke, her words igniting a spark. They hadn't expected outside help, but here it was a new energy in their fight. "Join us," Olivia said, her voice filled with determination. "We're starting a movement, and we need every hand we can get." Mia nodded, her eyes shining with resolve. Let us take this further. I've got contacts who can help spread the word. Social media, local news. This is bigger than just your workplace. Olivia felt electricity course through the air. It was more than a mere rumble now, it felt like an approaching storm, one that wouldn't be contained. As the group discussed details, Olivia realized that the tide was turning. The manager might have thought he could intimidate them into silence, but they were ready to go on the offensive. This was just the beginning, she thought. Together, they were about to unleash a wave of change. But as excitement grew, a shadow of doubt lingered. What if Mia's connections backfired? What if the manager retaliated, drawing them into a fight they couldn't win? Something told Olivia that this was no longer just about personal experiences, it was becoming a larger confrontation against a deeply rooted system. What if this escalates? She asked, glancing at her friends. They all looked back, determination etched on their faces, but uncertainty crackled in the air. Then we'll face it together, Anna said firmly. We're stronger together than we've ever been alone. As they dove into the plans for the next day, a strategy full of hope and fear, Olivia's heart raced. When they pushed ahead, what truths would rise to the surface? Could the movement they were crafting be the catalyst for true change, or would they bring down the storm they were apprehensively preparing for? The night deepened with questions, but there was no time for hesitation now. They were on the brink of something monumental, and the next hour would redefine everything they believed about strength and resilience. The next morning, the sky hung heavy with clouds, a reflection of the tension swirling in Olivia's stomach. She rarely made bold choices, but today felt different. Today was about action. The group convened in the park again, a sense of urgency buzzing in the air. Each person arrived with a dedicated spirit and folded letters in hand, their truths written down in black ink. As Olivia scanned their faces, she noticed nerves mixed with determination. Let us share what we wrote, Anna suggested, her voice cutting through the air, stirring them to trust one another's words. Olivia stepped forward, her palms clammy. She unfolded her letter, the words glowing with vulnerability. I wrote about the way management dismisses our concerns, but also how my coworkers have always been there for me, she said, her voice growing steadier. This is about more than just me. We deserve better. Miguel followed, his letter reflecting on the late nights and unappreciated efforts that stretched his spirit thin. This place used to feel like home, he admitted, his eyes glistening. Now, it feels like a prison. That's why I'm fighting. With each letter shared, it was as if the words grew wings. They were all rooted in truth, pain transformed into purpose, anger converted into advocacy. As they stood together in the park, holding their letters like shields, Mia stepped forward, a fire in her eyes. I've reached out to a local journalist, she said. They're interested in covering our story. They want to hear everything. An unexpected silence enveloped them. This was a bold step, one they hadn't anticipated. I don't know, Laura began, apprehension tightening her throat. What if this gets out of hand? What if it backfires? Anna shook her head firmly. No. We can't let fear keep us quiet. This is our moment. The energy shifted, Olivia could feel the group aligning behind a single heartbeat of shared resolve. They were ready to face whatever came next, as long as they stood together. As they began to draft a press release, thrilling ideas flowed freely. They envisioned an article that would shine a light on what was happening behind those closed doors, showcasing their unity and strength. The sooner they spread their message, the stronger they would grow. But just as Olivia felt a swell of excitement within her, her phone buzzed in her pocket, cutting through the air with an urgent intensity. She glanced down and her breath caught an email notification from management. Subject: immediate meeting required. It felt like ice water had splashed across her skin. Narrowing her eyes, she shared the news with the group. Tension surged in the air as the implications settled in. Were they already under scrutiny? What do they want from us? Miguel asked, his voice taut with incredulity. To intimidate us, Anna replied, steeling herself. But that's not going to work. We can't let them throw us off course. Olivia's mind raced. Should they confront management directly? Or should they follow through with their plan and risk revealing too much too soon? Gripping the letter in her hands, she knew they had to make a choice, and it couldn't wait. The moment sat heavy in the air, and every gaze was fixed on her for direction. What's most important? She prompted, her heart pounding. Do we meet them head-on now, or prepare first and strike later? As the group deliberated, Olivia struggled with the weight of their future hanging in the balance. Would they stand firm in their newly forged unity, or would fear push them back into the shadows? She took a breath, summoning all the confidence she could muster. We can't back down, not now. But as they made their plans, a small voice inside her whispered doubts. What if their resolve was only an illusion? And deep down, Olivia wondered, in a world that stifled so many, who would emerge unscathed once the dust settled? The group stood in a tight circle, their breaths synchronized with the tick-tock of an unseen clock, each second heavy with anticipation. Olivia let the silence stretch, holding space for the tangled emotions that flared among them. She could almost hear their hearts beating like war drums, a rhythm woven from fear, hope, and the desired change. Maybe we should just go in and talk, Miguel suggested, breaking the silence. His voice was tense, betraying his anxiety. If we show we're united, they might think twice about pushing us around. That could work, Anna replied, but there was hesitation in her tone. But are we ready? What if they come at us with threats? We need to have our stories lined up straight. Laura glanced between them, her brow furrowing. What if they try to turn us against each other? She bit her lip, the doubt heavy in her eyes. We're stronger together, but what if they exploit our vulnerabilities? Olivia felt a wave of sympathy wash over her. They were all wrestling with the same fears. The collective weight of their experiences came crashing down on her, and she realized that none of them could bear it alone. Whatever happens, we need to promise each other that we will stick together, she said, her voice rising with conviction. We can't become fragmented. We're stronger as one. A quiet determination flowed through the group, but they still hesitated. The impending meeting loomed like a storm cloud, dark and threatening. Olivia's heart raced as she glanced at the phone buzzing again in her pocket, a reminder of the urgency they faced. Okay, she finally said, her voice steadier now. What if we flip this? We can use their meeting as a platform. Let us take our letters, our stories, and put it all in front of them. We bring the fight to them instead of cowering in fear. Are you sure about this? Miguel's eyes widened, reflecting a mix of admiration and apprehension. That's risky. Yes, it is, she answered honestly. But isn't that what we need to do? We can't wait for them to call all the shots anymore. The journalist, too, Mia added, picking up on Olivia's momentum. If we do this right, we can have them in the same room, telling our truths. We can show everyone that we're serious. One by one, nods of agreement spread through the group like wildfire. Each person's resolve felt like a fuse lighting, igniting the dream they had held in their hearts for so long. But before they could even bask in the warmth of newfound courage, Olivia's phone buzzed more insistently. Taking a deep breath, she pulled it out to find another message. This time, it was from the journalist, confirming the time for their upcoming interview. The excitement twisted into anxiety. What if we explain ourselves to the journalist first, Laura suggested tentatively. As a practice before we go into the den of the beast? The idea seemed to linger in the air, buzzing with potential. Olivia could almost see the paths before them branching like the fingers of a hand, each turn leading to a new outcome. Let us do both, Olivia said, her heart racing. Let us face management. Then, we'll share our story with the journalist afterward after we show them we meant business. As they stood shoulder to shoulder, warmth radiating off their united front, Olivia could feel the knot in her stomach untwist. She had the sudden clarity that they were entering a new chapter. But suddenly, whispers of doubt crept in again. Was this really the path they wanted to walk? They had set their course, yet the fate ahead remained uncertain. "All right," she said, squeezing the letter tightly in her palm. "Let us do this together. But we need to stay sharp." In that moment, determination replaced the fear, and they wandered into the unknown, prepared to shove open the doors of their destiny. Just as they began to strategize, a familiar figure appeared in the distance, one that could shatter their fragile unity and disrupt everything they had worked for. "Why is he here?" Anna whispered, heart racing as their eyes landed on a figure from management. Before Olivia could respond, all hope and certainty began to waver. What now? Panic fluttered through the group like a startled bird. The sudden appearance of the management figure sent a ripple of uncertainty across their united front. Olivia's chest tightened, and her thoughts raced. She had expected battles but hadn't anticipated this twist. "Stay calm," she whispered, her voice barely above a breath. They shifted slightly, instinctively clustering closer. There was something unnerving about how confidently he approached, the easy smile plastered on his face. He was a master of manipulation, and Olivia could see it in the way he surveyed them, eyes flickering like a predator sizing up its prey. "Hey there. Great to see you all gathered. Big day ahead, right?" he chirped, his tone too cheerful, too insincere. Miguel shot Olivia a worried glance, and her heart mirrored his uncertainty. "What does he want?" he mouthed, and that silent question hung heavy in the air, pulling them into a trap of doubt. "Just wanted to discuss the upcoming meeting," he continued, his voice smooth as silk. "You all have been quite vocal lately, and I'd love to hear what's on your minds." "Why now?" Laura blurted out, her voice surprisingly strong. "What's your agenda?" His demeanor shifted, smile faltering for a moment. "No agenda, just a friendly chat. Think of it as an opportunity for reflection and growth." Olivia couldn't help but feel sick at the implications. His words were honeyed with insincerity. She thought of their plans, how they had built up the courage to stand firm. This was a violation of their trust, a play to divide them before the real confrontation could begin. "We're good on reflection," Anna chimed in, her tone equally defiant. "We know exactly what we want." He raised an eyebrow, intrigued but unfazed. "And what's that? Unity among your team? Is that really enough against the tides we face?" His words poked at their deepest fears, and Olivia felt that familiar tightness in her throat. But there was a flame in her stomach now, and she wouldn't let it extinguish. "Our unity is our strength," she interjected firmly. "And we won't let anyone shatter it." His laughter was slicing. "Unity?" he repeated mockingly. "In my experience, unity can be a double-edged sword. You may think you're stronger together, but it's when the cracks start to show that the real trouble begins." Each word felt like a dark shadow creeping over them. Olivia glanced at her friends, the tension was palpable, a mixture of fear and determination shifting beneath the surface. They had to act. "Listen," she said, her voice steady and clear. "We have nothing to hide. We're going into that meeting prepared. And no amount of your games will change that." He leaned in slightly, eyes narrowing, the hint of a smile still lingering. "You're bold, I'll give you that. But I wonder how you'll feel when the stakes are raised." With that, the air thickened with challenge, and his presence transformed the moment. Would they fortify their resolve or crumble under his threats? Olivia felt the weight of their shared stories, their memories, pressing on her like a weighty blanket. This was a test of their fortitude. "Let us leave our doubts behind," she said softly but earnestly, making eye contact with each of her friends. "We've come too far to turn back now." In that instant, they found their footing again. The figure could try to intimidate them, but they were ready to face whatever awaited them. Just as they steeled themselves, an unexpected sound pierced the heavy tension, a loud crash at the entrance. Heads turned sharply, including the management figure, confusion flashing in his eyes. "What was that?" he exclaimed, and for a brief moment, distraction pulled his attention away from them. But as they all looked toward the source, Olivia felt a strange flutter of hope. Was it a sign? A shift in the narrative? Then the ground beneath them seemed to shake as the unmistakable sound of voices filled the room. "What is happening?" she wondered aloud as a swarm of familiar faces appeared at the door. Could this be the moment the tides really turned? The moment was electric. As the crowd surged through the doorway, Olivia felt a blast of hope wash over her. There they were, friends, family, and allies from the community, drawn by the whispers of injustice. Eyes lit up as they recognized familiar faces, people who had once walked these halls and knew the truth. "Are you ready to stand with us?" Olivia called out, her heart racing. She didn't need to ask twice. "We're here for you," someone shouted, their voice booming through the gathering. The support poured in like a tidal wave, wrapping around Olivia and her co-workers like a warm blanket, pushing away the chill of fear. The management figure stood agape, his smug demeanor cracked for the first time. The tension rippled like an earthquake, fracturing his carefully constructed facade. "What's all this?" he blurted, a tremor creeping into his voice. "It's called unity," Anna declared, stepping forward, her chin held high. "And it's stronger than anything you can throw at us." The crowd behind her erupted into cheers. They weren't just there to watch, they were a force, a living testament to the change Olivia and her co-workers had fought for. Every pair of eyes gleamed with determination, holding the promise of real transformation. "What do you think you're doing?" he stammered, trying to regain control. "You can't just barge in here. This is private property." "Not anymore. We'll take a stand here and now," Miguel shouted, emboldened by the decade of silence he endured. Olivia felt a swell of pride mixed with exhilaration. This was at the moment their years of struggle would not just be their stories, but a chorus sung by many. A catalyst. With newfound energy, they marched together toward the management office, a united force that defied the power dynamic that had once held them captive. The crowd spilled into the corridor, and Olivia felt reborn as she led them, feeling the warmth of her co-workers' hands on her back. "Everyone, on the count of 3, we disclose our findings," she commanded, raising her voice above the commotion. 1, 2, 3. As they shouted their truths packed with injustice, labor violations, and discrimination, the room shook with the collective pain of years. Their voices echoed, creating a powerful anthem of resilience. "Enough is enough," Anna shouted, her voice rising above the chaos. "We'll not go silently into the night." The management figure faltered, his eyes darting like a trapped animal. Olivia struck while the iron was hot, holding up their letters as if they were banners of freedom. "We are not afraid of you. We refuse to be silenced and manipulated." As their unified voices rang out, the onlookers outside leaned in, captivated. Reporters recorded video. The story was bigger than the confines of their community center now. It was a movement. It was hope intertwined with the fabric of justice. The manager's front crumbled. "You'll regret this," he spat, but for the first time, Olivia sensed fear beneath his words. He had underestimated them, dismissing what they could create together. "Actually," Miguel responded, stepping forward, heart full, "you'll regret not believing in us." The energy shifted as the crowd erupted into cheers once more. Their power flourished, swirling like a storm filled with anticipation and resolve. The solidarity was palpable. In that moment of sheer clarity, Olivia formed the future she had envisioned for her children and her co-workers. They were all worthy of respect, of dignity, and of hope. They had turned the corner from fear and desperation to strength and unity. This was simply the beginning. The community was awakening, and the world beyond their doors was about to hear their message loud and clear. With a deep breath, Olivia stepped forward again. Let us share our truth with the world. Together. As the network of support swelled outside, she made the decision to extend the invitation to everyone who was there that day. The fire in her heart was a bonfire now, blazing with conviction. Their stories would resonate beyond walls. Hand in hand, they left the confines of the old, broken system behind, and with one bold movement, they stepped into a future filled with potential, one that shimmered with the promise of transformation, hope, and relentless perseverance. This is what true change looked like. The courage flourished in everyone present, and they poured their hearts into the fight, determined to be heard. As Olivia glanced back at her coworkers, her smile radiated pure joy, knowing they were no longer just survivors but warriors in their quest for a lifetime of respect. Now was their time, and nothing could extinguish the flame they had kindled. If you felt inspired by this moment of triumph, you need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support for those who dare to dream and fight for change. Leave a like now to fuel the algorithm and help spread the word. Comment your reactions and feelings about this incredible ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation take flight. Let us keep the momentum going together.